morning and thank you. In 1938, in September, Neville Chamberlain, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, met with Hitler and ceded parts of Czechoslovakia to Hitler. He came back to the UK and proclaimed, "This is peace in our time." He ceded not only land, but he ceded people who would end up dying in Hitler's death camps. 2 months later was Kristallnacht, which is the German word for the night of the breaking glass. The Hitler thugs went all over Germany and Austria and broke windows of all the Jewish stores. They looted the stores, they burned them, they burned the synagogues, and they sent thousands and thousands of Jews to death camps. The world raised very little outcry against this. 1 year later, the Jews, knowing that their time was up in Germany, 950 Jews were able to get visas to Cuba, a small island 90 miles off the United States. They were able to charter a ship to St. Louis. It was a cruise ship, and they got on the ship, and it was like paradise for them. They didn't have food in Germany, and now all of a sudden they had food. They had swimming pools. The kids were taught to swim, and they ended up cruising to Cuba, and Cuba said, "I'm sorry, we're not going to let you in. Go back to Europe and die." So they said, "Okay, we'll go to the United States." They went to the United States, and the United States, my country, where 950 people were asking to be accepted. I lived in buildings in New York that had more people in it than that. The United States, the country built on immigrants, said, "Forget it, we're not letting you in." They went to Canada, they got the same response. They went back to Europe, and a lot of them died. Meanwhile, halfway around the world, a small third world impoverished country, the Philippines, 2 weeks after Kristallnacht, had a rally in Ateneo Fieldhouse where thousands of Filipinos rallied that it is morally wrong what the Germans are doing and what Hitler is doing. You will see in the film that President Quezon, the president of the Philippines, met with the Frida brothers, who were 5 cigar makers from Cincinnati, Ohio, and with Paul McNutt, who was the High Commissioner to the Philippines, and with a colonel, a young colonel to adjutant to General Douglas MacArthur, named Eisenhower. Eisenhower later became the head of the European Theater and then became President of the United States. They met and devised a plan to allow 10,000 Jews to come to the Philippines, when nowhere else in the world would allow it. They were the moral beacon to the world. They devised the plan, and on top of that, President Quezon ceded part of his lands in Marikina, very near here, for the Jews to settle. And when he dedicated his farm in Marikina to the Jewish people, he said, "It is my hope and indeed my expectation that the people of the Philippines will have in the future every reason to be glad when at the time of need came, their country was willing to extend a welcoming hand." This is a Filipino story that every Filipino should be rightly proud of. It is a wonderful story. Thank you and enjoy the film.